Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast. My name is Ariane, and you're listening to the Lonely Artist Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest, and I hope that you welcome her with a big smile as she has a lot to teach us today. Aleksandra, or Ola, or Alex, started learning how to draw because she was jealous of her older sister and mother, who were both good at it. Fortunately, jealousy didn't last, and it turned into a real passion for the world of arts. Now, at 21, she's a graphic design and animation student who recently got her dream job as a concept artist for a local game studio, Dodgy Games. Her new goal is to grow and gain experience in the gaming industry that she wanted so badly to be a part of. Love your art. It's so pretty, and I've been following you for a little bit now. And I
Mm.
just was really excited that you accepted because I really wanted to get to know you more.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's my first interview, so I'm nervous, but it should be all fine.
Oh my God,
Um,
that's really exciting. I can be the person to say that I was the first to interview you when you're really good at things. I'll just brag about that when you're like a master and everybody's like
sure, yeah, that will happen.
Well, to me, honestly, you're already like a master. Your art is just insane. I love it. I don't know how you do it, honestly.
Thank you so much. It's really nice to hear that. I'm very self-conscious about my art, so
I feel like the most artists are, aren't they?
yeah, it's nerve-wracking when I send like projects to clients and everything.
Oh,
I'm
I
just
bet.
sweating and waiting for a response.
You're just waiting for them to say like it's horrible, but they're not
Yeah.
never gonna say that. Well, I think this is awesome. Honestly, I love doing this. I love doing this podcast. I feel like I always meet the most amazing people here, and I just want to go ahead and start just asking you all the questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Awesome. So the first question, and I always like to open up with this, is just asking you when you decided to start pursuing the arts in general.
Yeah, so I think that was by the end of primary school. I was always really jealous of my sister. She was drawing like this cool ponytail, like ponies and wings characters, and I was very competitive as a kid. I'm not so much anymore, but um, and I was just like, yeah, I want to draw like that. I want to be better at like little things than my sister because she was older, so she knew more stuff than me on a regular basis. So it was only natural that I started to compete with her. And in middle school, I've started to think about art a little more seriously.
Okay.
Um, and that was the point when my mother signed me up for drawing classes. And on these drawing classes, I've learned how to use perspective and like this basic stuff. And the teacher was awesome, but she knew nothing from digital art.
Okay.
So I didn't have help in that department, and I have to learn everything on my own.
S-
Uh,
So you always knew you wanted to get into digital art specifically?
yeah, I mean, I can't really remember what was the point when I started to think about it more seriously, because it was like I think 2 months that I switched completely from traditional art to digital art, and I wanted to only make digital art, which was not good. And you should first learn fundamentals, and I didn't at that point. So um, but yeah, I asked my mother to buy me a drawing tablet because I discovered that digital artists use actually drawing tablets, which was a big break for me. And yeah, she bought me the Wacom bamboo. So I had it for a few years before it broke, but whatever.
That's
Um,
really cool. That was my first tablet as well.
yeah, I think everyone used it at some point in their life.
I
It
think
was
so,
so
yeah.
popular. It was in every shop, and it was the only tablet that was in my location,
This is
actually.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, so I used that, and um, I was like obsessed with learning how to use this tablet, and I didn't even know about pressure sensitivity at that point. So I was just basically using a mouse with a pen. So my art wasn't gonna improve before I learned actually how to do it. So here comes YouTube with his tutorials on how to use actual tablets and all that. And yeah, so that was my journey to like learning how to use the tablet and wanting to get into digital art and all that. I didn't obviously have Photoshop or anything,
Mhm. Were you
but
using like paint?
yeah, I was using Paint to Sai actually. So
Oh, okay.
um, not an official version, let me say, but
We'll
I
just
pay
go with
for
that.
my yeah yeah. I'm paying for my Photoshop subscription now, so I'm just yeah, I'm a good girl.
Not a pirate at all.
Yeah, yeah.
We're behaving here. We're good people.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess you always wanted to pursue this professionally, or did you ever just think about it as a hobby?
I think it was a hobby before. I wanted to get into more professional side of it by the end of middle school. So before high school,
Mm-hmm.
I was like starting to think about getting into games or animation. It at first it was animation, later it was games, and I stuck with games for the rest of my life. I will be stuck with games, I hope. um, and yeah, so in high school, I was working on a small project in game development. It was just like a fun made thing, so no money or anything involved. We were just having fun on Discord and making this game. And yeah, I was like really hyped for it, and that was the point that I wanted, that I mm, realized that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like
That is
grow.
really cool that you actually just did it for fun at first. I feel like some people focus a lot on just like making money or a career and they don't enjoy just doing
Yeah,
art. So that's really cool that you were just doing this because you were fans and you just wanted to develop that on your
yeah,
own.
yeah, yeah. It was really cool project. That was best time I had in high school. The high school was after that really not good, but
Oh
it
no.
was yeah. This was like my highlight of the day to work on a game. So
The highlight of your life, just.
yeah.
Oh man, well, you had a much more fun experience in high school than I did, I'll tell you that much.
Oh. Yeah, high school is tough times. I
Yeah,
gotta
for
agree.
everybody.
Mm.
So, well, but I know that you said you want to focus on games only, right? But you are currently studying animation and graphic design, right?
Yeah, right.
And what I guess it's interesting to me is a lot of people come from different backgrounds of studying things, but every single person is influenced different by those backgrounds. So how does studying animation and graphic influence the way you make your illustrations? Does it um, help you think about it differently than other people, or how do you think it affects your thought process?
Mm. So I actually noticed I'm a bit more aware of the shapes and colors I use, because in graphic design you have to be very simple, plain sometimes even, and in illustrations you just want to throw all the colors, or because, especially in digital art, because you have every color you would ever need.
Very
Um,
true.
so I learned how to a bit restrict myself, and the shapes I use, I try to make them tell something. So if the character should be received as a bit more playful or something like that, I would make, for example, face a little bit rounder and stuff like that, like details actually. So um, it didn't change a lot in like visual part of it, but I learned a lot in the thought process behind making an art piece on my university. So I don't just randomly blob colors and shapes together like I used to.
Yeah.
Uh, and now I actually like have to think first before starting any bigger projects. So I didn't waste so much time like on these details, changing everything from the scratch and all that. So I learned how to plan my paintings and my illustrations, and I think that's really important and often overlooked, like
Mm-hmm.
planning actually before
Yeah.
starting anything. So yeah.
This is true. So you feel like it just made you more efficient and maybe like a better planner, or just making it more simple for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Because in university, the most important part is actually process of making the project and not the final result, I
Okay.
think, because teachers will tell you all the good parts in your process, how to say it, in your planning process, and the the stuff you have to improve on to make it more efficient or simple for yourself. And I think that's really awesome and helped me a lot.
Well, I
Yeah.
was also going to ask you if you've ever considered going into the gaming industry, but I guess that question is irrelevant
Yeah.
now. So I guess what I'm going to ask you instead is, do you, because of what you just said, do you feel like you enjoy the process more than the final result of your drawings, or are you always looking for that final perfect result?
um, I think I like the last stages of making an art piece.
Mhm.
I like sketching and I like doing final touches. So uh, everything in between is kind of a chore for me, but
Yeah,
I just
torture.
have to do it. But yeah, I really like starting and finishing my pieces. But yeah, this process in between, I just have to sit and just make myself some coffee or tea and just relax and do it. Yeah.
Just push through it until you're in the last stage.
Yeah. The last
Oh.
stage are amazing. I'm just like sitting here with a smile on my face, drawing those tiniest particles that you won't even see.
Oh, I feel you. Sometimes I'll be drawing I'll be in the middle of it and I'm just like, this is a piece of garbage. It looks horrible. I don't want to keep going. But at the end you're like, oh, it actually doesn't look so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally feel you on that one. I feel like a lot of people go through that as well. So,
Mhm.
where do you get your inspiration from or your creativity in general?
Um, I think for me, what works is actually watching movies and animations. So there's a whole team behind them that already went through the art block and already went through the all creative process. So you won't have to do it for yourself because
Yeah.
every like frame from this movie is thought out, and it's just you're just looking at final piece, so you see that the lighting is perfect, the characters um, positions are perfect, and I get really inspired. I get really a lot of inspiration from that, from actually observing on YouTube sometimes, even behind the scenes of from making an animation, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really awesome to look at, and I get really hyped for making something so amazing. And
Yeah, just you want to have the same thing for yourself, right? Just that
yeah,
final
yeah,
amazing
like
piece.
without the 100 people team, I'm just gonna do it myself. Thank you.
Yeah, oh my God. I don't understand. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I could make a movie, an animation. I just want to do it
Yeah, yeah.
myself.
I have to make animation for my diploma.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know. It's called thesis or something like that in English. I'm not sure. But I'm just like planning this beautiful animation that's gonna like 10 minutes long and
Oh my
everything
God.
like that. And I'm just like, will I be able to do it by myself?
You
Not
want to do it,
really.
but it might kill you.
Yeah. So you have to restrict yourself in that, definitely.
True. Oh my God, I can't wait to see that. I'm very eager to see that final project. Hopefully you'll be able to post it so we can all
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
I'm excited to make it too, but it's nerve-wracking. I have to make a storyboard and scenario for it by the by the end of next week. So actually,
Oh my
so
God.
I'm running kind of time.
So you're already working on this. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you also write it, like the story yourself of this
Yeah,
animation?
we have to make everything by ourselves, but we can get inspired by, for example, a story from a book. But obviously, we have to write in the description that this is inspired by this book and or this movie or something like that. But I think I'm gonna make my own story and everything like that. But it's not gonna be 10 minutes long. I'm not even gonna lie about it. It's gonna be like 2 minutes top.
That's okay to
Yeah,
keep things realistic.
yeah.
Well, I'm very eager. Oh, when will that be done by?
I think it should be done by June,
Okay.
or a bit sooner. I'm not sure. Well, I have to work on it through the whole year, including my other projects. So we have um, we have to like plan for ourselves, our time management, all that. So it's
Yeah.
gonna kill me.
Well, to everybody who's listening to the podcast, I'd like to just note that uh, you're making a 2-minute animation and it's going to take you almost a whole year just for people to
Yeah.
understand like the amount of work that goes behind making an animation is just insane.
Yeah, like not even animating, but also coming up with the story and coming up with the art style and post
Exactly.
processing and all that. It's gonna be a nightmare, but I'm excited.
Well, I'm sure at the end you'll be very happy with the final result and we'll all be in awe of just the amazing thing that you create. I just
Yeah, I
I'm just
hope so.
I'm just gonna try and be on the lookout for June to see that amazing project of yours. That'll
Okay.
be really amazing. So, who are your biggest art inspirations currently? Do you have anybody who you look up to a lot?
Yeah, so I actually most artists I follow are from Instagram and
Mhm.
some are from like art station, but I'm gonna say from Instagram. I'm a huge fan of Dave Greco art.
Mhm.
The way he uses color and his characters are so like they just look alive to me, and I absolutely love his illustrations. I think he's just I don't know, he's amazing. If you don't know him, please look him up.
Oh, I know him.
Uh,
I love his. I actually follow him on YouTube as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love his YouTube content as well. So
And I can totally tell that you're inspired by him now that you say that. I
yeah.
definitely see it. That's really cool though. We just steal from our favorite
Yeah,
inspirations.
yeah. a little bit of that, a little bit from that,
Exactly.
and here comes new art style.
Exactly.
um, the next one I think would be Sasha Frantseva. I'm not sure if I say the surname correctly.
Okay.
She's an artist from Ukraine. Um, I think you would know her art too. I just not everyone is familiar with her surname.
Okay.
Um, and I just love how she handles her brushwork and colors as well. I just love beautiful colors in art. I'm just like putting smile on my face already when I see them. And yeah, and I also like Leslie O. She's from Brazil, and I really enjoy her characters and character designs. And she uses those real life poses for them, so they look really natural and just amazing to look at. Yeah, definitely check her out. I mean, you probably know her. It's just so those are, I think, my top inspirations from Instagram. Yeah, they definitely.
Those are your tops.
Yeah, top three. Just there are three gods of Instagram art. I'm just
They're just creating your style, which is the baby of these three gods combined, basically.
yeah.
So, because this is a place of support, I like to know if there's any art accounts you love or and that you follow that you feel like maybe should have more attention.
So I think I'm gonna shamelessly plug my rituals. I think they deserve so much more love, and it's actually they're all from Polish game dev community, I
Okay,
guess.
that's awesome. Don't
So
worry about it. Just you recommend whoever you like. Nobody's gonna judge here.
thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Ines Stoczyska. Stoczyska. I'm not sure about her surname either. But she has amazing art style and character designs are absolute top notch, and she's making those awesome animated illustrations.
Hmm.
I think her diploma even was a combination of animated illustrations that she made to fit into some story. It's on YouTube, so everybody can check it out.
Okay.
And it's amazing to look at. They just this the most beautiful illustrations you could imagine, and they also move. So it's just like
So
watching
even better.
magic. Yeah. Um, the next one would be Karolina Jędrzejak.
Okay.
She's on Instagram known as Rin Rin Daishi.
Okay.
She's the master of splash art. So I actually have two of her prints at my desk right now, looking at me.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, she was on like conventions in my city selling prints. So I just had to grab two of them
Splash art is so cool,
and convent.
honestly. I love it.
Yeah, and I miss conventions. I'm just like sitting in my room and remembering the good old times.
Oh my god, I think everybody
Um,
misses being a human at this point.
yeah, it's just exhausting, but we have to get through it.
True.
It's gonna be fine. Um, and the last one that I'm gonna plug is Maya Budner art on Instagram. And I especially appreciate the way she paints backgrounds. Something I struggle very much with, and props for that because backgrounds are absolute nightmare
Oh, they
for
still
me.
are.
Um, I'm just crying when I paint them.
Oh, I hate
Really
backgrounds.
hard. I love painting characters, but making backgrounds for them, it's just I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Just blob some colors on the background, blur it, and it's gonna be fine. That's all of them.
That's a good trick to just like paint some random stuff and blur it out and say it's a background.
Yeah, because you can say that it's from like camera captured the focus of the character
Exactly.
and completely blurred the whole background. You can't see anything. Yeah, just leave it like that.
I hope everybody's taking notes. If you hate backgrounds, that's what you do. And do you have, aside from blurring backgrounds, do you have any advice for people that follow you or want to become artists like yourself?
I think me was getting some proper education. I mean, not only university, but also going to the drawing classes, because you are in this place of full of artists, and also your mentor is an artist, so they're gonna teach you all the ways they taught themselves when they were younger. And I think it's more important to actually get advice from people that went through the same thing you're going through, and the same road you're going to take. And meeting my drawing teacher was a big break for me, because she supported me in everything, and I had an idea for a drawing, and I would consult this idea with her, and she would point out, oh, maybe you're gonna change this so it's gonna read better, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that really helped me, aside from watching YouTube videos, obviously.
Of course.
Of course. But yeah, so I would advise people to not trying to taught everything themselves, because it's gonna be hard and exhausting, and it's you can do it absolutely if you're a very persistent person, but actually taking help from other people, other artists, is gonna help you so much more than just sitting at your desk and trying to figure it out on your own.
Yeah. A mentor is like a guide towards like the path that you want to take, right? Just helps you a little
Yeah.
bit more. That's really cool that you had mentors, and I'm really glad that they helped you break through in your art. I think that that definitely helps a lot of people, and I wish some other people had the access to those mentors. But like you
Yeah.
said, sometimes you can also just find those mentors online. You don't really have to have them present in the same country
Yeah,
or
exactly.
city.
Especially now when you can't really leave your house. So
True.
going online with asking for advice is also a good idea.
Exactly. So, what are your plans for the future, if any, regarding your art or your social media presence? Are you just going to focus on your animation for the coming year, or do you have any other plans ahead of you?
Um, I still want to run my Instagram account and from time to time pick some commissions to work on. For now, they're closed because I just don't have time right now. I got my job in game dev just a few days ago, so
Oh, wow,
I really should,
congratulations.
yeah, I really should put all my energy into that, and because I'm gonna be paid a lot for doing that, so I need to be at my sharpest. Um, and I'm gonna like focus a little bit on doing a university project, because it's my last year, and on the diploma. But I'm not abandoning my Instagram account. I'm still trying to post at least once a month. I know it's very little, but
Oh, we're thankful with whatever we can get from you, for sure.
yeah. It's a constant struggle to
I
post
bet.
on Instagram. So yeah. Mm.
But it's also important to focus
So
on your
yeah,
studies and your work.
yeah. I don't want to ruin my chance.
Exactly, just for Instagram. And well, I always like to end the podcast on this question, maybe because I like to think about fantastical things or just like things that maybe aren't hypothetical. But if you could have any magical art power to help you in painting, in your painting process, what would you like that power to be?
I think I would conjure like little goblins to help me to find reference pictures and like take pictures from nature and like go into random strangers and taking photos of them, so I won't have to do that myself. And just help me in that department, because I'm spending so much time just researching and gathering those reference photos from internet and from real life, that I would need a little bit of help. Love that.
I will say this is the most original power that I've heard so far in the podcast, but I love it. I feel like
Yeah,
we spend so many hours looking at references that by the end, when we find one, we're so tired we don't even want to draw anymore.
yeah, exactly. That's literally what is happening to me. So
Well, I think that would be just a great power to have. If you're ever able to achieve that power, let me know because I need some goblins for myself.
okay. I will drop the tips so when I get it.
You can share the goblins with everybody.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I wouldn't never share them.
oh no. Just keep them for yourself.
They're too
Okay.
precious.
You'll just let everybody else suffer and you'll
Yep,
just have your goblins. That's okay.
exactly.
We're not gonna judge you anyway. We feel you, okay? So it's fine. It's fine.
You
Well,
gotta be a little bit selfish from time to time.
this is true. This is true. You can help, but until up to an extent, and then when you get your goblins, you just don't help anybody, and then there you
Yeah,
go. Just live a
exactly.
nice, bright life. Well, thank you so much for coming to this interview, for answering all of my questions, and for just doing this, even though we have very different time schedules as well, time zones. This is,
Yeah, well, it worked out in the end. It's
yeah.
fine time for me, and I hope for you too.
No, this
Um,
was just so fun. And the thing I love about doing podcasts like this is I get to meet new people, and I always meet the best kinds of people for the podcast. I'm just so happy to get to know you and know your story. And I do this because I feel like we're artists and we're kind of loners most of the time.
yeah,
So this is an amazing opportunity to just
no other others are struggling with the same things as you.
exactly. Yeah, and for people who listen to this also to find new artists that aren't necessarily like this huge accounts that have millions of followers all the time, you know?
Mm,
Because
definitely.
it's better because Instagram's never helping us small artists get known, so I just gonna have to do this podcast until everybody gets well known.
Oh, that's a perfect mission for a podcast.
It has to be fair. Come on. Well, guys, that was the podcast right there for you. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope to be able to bring you more interviews very soon. And with that, I'm going to let you go. But remember that you can always check out all of the people that we've mentioned in the comments or in the description of this podcast. And I'll be seeing you, or you'll be hearing me very soon. All right. Bye bye now.